Howdy everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I'd like to go through this book. It's called The Haight, Love, Rock, and Revolution, the photography of Jim Marshall. This book is one of the best books I have come across. It's for a while. It's been a while since I came across a really great book. Jim Marshall was a photographer. He photographed basically almost everybody in the music business. I don't want to say everybody, but, you know, everybody that matters. Anyway, he was there during the 60s and 70s psychedelic scene in San Francisco. And this is pretty much what this book is. It's a collection of his photographs of that scene and of other people that he photographed, other musicians. He photographed everyone in jazz and in almost every genre. But Jim Marshall was an amazing photographer. Oh man, the photographs of JANIS Joplin that he took are amazing. I don't know really any other word to describe them. There's a photo of her in here where he got her eyes so well that it blew me away. And of course it's a photo that, you know, I've seen many times, and I actually have, but I don't know, it just looks different with in the book. That's all I'm going to say. His archivist, Amelia Davis, has released many great books of his photography, including books on Johnny Cash and the Grateful Dead. And Jim Marshall, when he was alive, also released a couple books that are really good. Anyway, Amelia Davis is in charge of his, you know, photography now and all the pictures that he took. And I'd just like to say, and I doubt this will ever get through, but if I could wish anything into existence, it would be to have a book of all Jim Marshall's photographs of Janis Joplin and Big Brother and the Holding Company. And I don't mean like the ones we've seen 1,000 times. I mean the outtakes, the ones that were never used. I mean, I'm sure she can make a big book about that, you know, because I don't know. To me, Janis was gorgeous and my favorite singer personally, and I think she could make a book out of that. But that would be the one thing I would love to see happen, because she has released his photography on Johnny Cash and the Grateful Dead. So I don't know, maybe it'll happen one day while I'm still alive. But I don't know, I hope it'll happen. But anyway, enough of my yapping. So this book is still available to get on Amazon. Paperback though, so it's not this one. It's a paperback. You gotta find this secondhand, I believe now. Anyway, the text is written by Joel Selvin, who's a really great writer, and this book just had me so immersed. It took me a while to read it all because it's such a big book, but I didn't mind because it was so good. So, The Haight, Love, Rock, and Revolution, the photography of Jim Marshall. Have a look through of it. He photographed people in the streets too, and pretty much anybody, you know. Help in introducing peaceful individual existence. I know you believe you understand what you think I said, but I am not sure you realize that what you heard is not what I meant. I love that saying. That's the corner of Haight-Ashbury. Now this book is so beautifully put together that it comes apart. There's like photos that actually, you know, I'll show you. That's Jack Cassidy of the Jefferson Airplane and his bass. First photo of Janis on her Porsche at the Palace of Fine Arts in San Francisco. Jimi Hendrix filming Janis Joplin, or photographing Janis Joplin. The Grateful Dead giving him the finger. Now there's people in here that I do not know because they are photographs of people that he took, you know, just in the street. Donovan. By the way, Donovan still has the creepiest song I've ever heard. And Hurdy-Gurdy Man. Jorma Kaukonen, I can never pronounce his last name correctly. The Jefferson Airplane. The Jefferson Airplane, this is a great photo. There's Jim Marshall photographing the Grateful Dead. Janis and Jim Marshall. Jerry Garcia in the mirror there. The Haight Begins. He just photographed a couple. That's Ken Kesey. I can't pronounce his last name either, but he wrote a book that would eventually become the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. There's the Charlatans, San Francisco band. Don't say anything on this phone that you wouldn't say to a cop. Like I said, he photographed a lot of the street scenes too. The Jefferson Airplane with their original singer. Bill Graham. Bill Graham. Bill Graham was a very, how can I say this? Very, I don't want to say forceful, but very business-wise man who, if it weren't for him, I don't think a lot of bands wouldn't exist, or they wouldn't have anywhere to play, because Bill Graham, you know, opened the Fillmores in the West and the East, and Winterland Ballroom and all that stuff. So I know he, you know, I've heard that he was somewhat difficult to deal with, but I don't care. I like the guy, and I hope that there's a movie about him someday, because there should be. And that's a nice photograph you took of Bill Graham. Bob Dylan. More Bob Dylan. Street scenes. This is the Trips Festival. It was a thing put on by Bill Graham at the Fillmore Auditorium on December 10th. I don't know much about it, but there's some bands that were playing there. People that converted a school bus into a living area. John Cipollino of Quicksilver Messenger Service. Good looking guy. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I really have trouble pronouncing names. I am so sorry. Quicksilver Messenger Service. I believe that's the Winterland Ballroom. That arena there. That's Chet Helms and a friend, I believe. Chet Helms, as you know, was very important in getting Janis Joplin back to San Francisco in '66 so she could join Big Brother. I never knew what he looked like in color. Now I do. Bill Graham. Some cool stage shots there. Bill Graham in his office. I would have loved to have met Bill Graham. I really would have. That's so weird to say, but I would. That's a poster store. I didn't even think those. I didn't even know that those existed. Ugh. This is Stanley Mouse. He was one that made posters, actually. Pictures of people on the street. Big Brother and the Holding Company and Janis Joplin. Man, he took some great photos of her. Like I said. And this was the photo I was talking about with him capturing her eyes. Just incredible. Just incredible. I can't believe how good he got her eyes. Now, I've seen a lot of outtakes from this session, and there are a lot. Come on, there's enough to make a book of this and a few others he did with her. Please. That is such a gorgeous photo. I still can't believe it. I mean, she had such beautiful, gorgeous eyes, and no photographer really captured them quite like Jim did in this one, and you know, from the same session. Baron Wallman came close too, so yeah, it was just amazing. This was in Janis Joplin's apartment, by the way, that these were taken. This is Mike Bloomfield from the Paul Butterfield Blues Band at the Monterey Jazz Festival in 1966. Oh yeah, Jim Marshall was there for the Beatles' last show at Candlestick Park in San Francisco in 1966. Okay, so here's my ignorance on the Beatles. I didn't know they didn't tour between each albums. And then I heard that they didn't tour, and I thought, well, why? And I found out it was because they were mobbed everywhere they went, so I guess it became dangerous for them to play. But he was there at their last show, like I said, on August 29th, 1966, at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Okay, so, there's George Harrison and Ringo, John Lennon and Ralph Gleason from Rolling Stone, Paul McCartney and Joan Baez. Okay, so here's where the book gets very interesting, because this is a photo of them walking to the stage, and you open it up like this, and there's more photos. I can't show them all because it all don't fit, and I apologize so much, but it's just so beautiful. Over here it says Lennon Saves, and there's fans that have I guess drawings of all the four Beatles, and on the other side is you know, guards. Yeah, his This is something else. John Lennon, Paul McCartney. David Crosby. Buffalo Springfield. Birds. Street people on the Haight. That is a huge guitar. Wow. Street scenes. There's Janis Joplin. I mean, it must have been such a great, time back then. Sort of. I mean, I've experienced all that great music, Grateful Dead and the Grateful Dead's manager up there. It's so weird seeing Jerry Garcia without a beard. Ron McKernan and Jerry Garcia and his girlfriend. Grace Slick. He took some nice shots of Grace Slick in the Jefferson Airplane. Oh man. I love this shot. This is a great shot of the Jefferson Airplane walking down the street. In my opinion. Perfect Storm. Muhammad Ali and Timothy Leary. Great scenes. That's Free Will and Frank from the Hells Angels. Janis Joplin was kind of close to him. Great scenes. There's Chet Helms up there. A great live shot of Big Brother. Backstage photos of Jefferson Airplane. More Jefferson Airplane performing. Grateful Dead. Janis Joplin. Well, Big Brother was filming Petulia. Just amazing. Okay, so yeah, here's Janis sound check at the Winterland Ballroom. Okay, and then this opens to that, and there's shots of Janis on each side, and I apologize if you cannot see them, but this is an amazing shot here. I love this photo. And then we got the outtakes from the poster that was used, which are amazing. And they said this was used for Teen Set magazine. I believe these shots were used for Jazz and Pop magazine too. Need more of these. 18th. It's amazing how he just photographed whatever he pretty much wanted, you know, and I mean he really was a great photographer. I have to say that. Grateful Dead performing at the Golden Gate Park in 1967. Quicksilver Messenger Service. John Cipollina here, and Quicksilver Messenger Service with their families. And Jim Marshall, of course, also shot album covers. And this is a album cover of Moby Grape that he took. Mike Bloomfield. Here's the electric flag. We're getting the Monterey Pop. Michelle Phillips. Jimi Hendrix. Ravi Shankar. Janis. And Otis Redding. That is a great photo of him. He died way too soon and way too young. Such a great singer and performer. Brian Jones and Dennis Hopper. There's Jimi Hendrix and Brian Jones backstage at Monterey, I believe. Sound check at Monterey with Hendrix. That is a great photo of Jimmy. And then Jimmy on stage letting his guitar on fire. Of course, I didn't really like that, but he did mention before he did it that he was sacrificing something that he loved, so hopefully Leo Fender forgave him. And then Hendrix in the park performing, and the Panhandle. There's Noel Redding, Jimi Hendrix bass player. And here we go again with more photos. It's pretty amazing. Jimmy to your left and Jimmy to your right. This book is so interesting that it does this. I never had a book that, you know, opened up like that. The cardboard, because I have no idea who, oh, the monkeys. Joan Baez. And her sister, Mimi. Simon and Garfunkel. Oh my goodness. I love this photo of Janice and Grace Slick. Such... He took all these. There's a bunch of outtakes from this session too that have not been released. The Who. Great shot of The Who. Oh, the Charlatans playing at Summer of Love. I think the Panhandle or Golden Gate Park. I don't remember. How they used to live back then. Weird. So here's Jefferson Airplane in the studio. RCA Studios in Los Angeles. I believe recording their second album. And then them performing at the Golden Gate Park. Nope, I'm sorry. They're just in Golden Gate Park, not performing. Sorry. Or the shoot. I don't understand the masks, but that was part of the album cover, I believe. Eric Clapton and Cream, which Eric Clapton looks so different then than from what I was used to seeing him as. Eric Clapton and Cream, I believe. God, he just looks so different, in my opinion. Press conference for the Grateful Dead. It's going to open up. Grateful Dead performing and stuff like that. I apologize if you can't see the whole thing. Our Grateful Dead shots. Big Brother. Backstage. Trip, or I say the Trip or Freak. Anyway, this is, I believe, Halloween, when Janis dressed as belly dancer, and Peter Albin. If you don't know what that is, I apologize, but I'm not going to say. More street scenes. Oh, shit. Grace Slick and the Fillmore, Carousel Ballroom. Fillmore West. Field. So, Weatherfield Blues Band, Fleetwood Mac. 10 years after Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Huh. I'm sure that was Fleetwood Mac before Stevie and Lindsay. Jim Morrison of the Doors. And the Doors, the rest of the Doors. Another great shot of Hendrix. Some more backstage photos of Janis and Jimmy backstage at Winterland. And a live shot of Hendrix. Okay, so these are, there was basically 5 San Francisco bands, which included Jefferson Airplane, Grateful Dead, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Quicksilver Messenger Service, and the Charlatans. And these are all their managers. And Bill Graham's in there too, because I believe he managed the Jefferson Airplane at one time. And these are all the San Francisco bands. This is just an amazing shot. Just an amazing, amazing shot. There's Janis and the rest of Big Brother. Charlatans. Grace Slick's right there. Just an amazing shot. It's a great, you know, moment in time, I guess. And this is scenes or shots from when the Dead played their last concert on Haight Street before they moved out of San Francisco. Well, yeah, before they moved out of San Francisco. But my God, look at all those people, leaving people on the roof. Jesus. It must have been such a fun time, though. And a lot of concerts back then were free, so I guess you could just walk right out of your apartment and listen to music, live music, on the street. Over here in Haight. San Fran is free. And there's Janis and Jim Marshall. There too. And the back cover is, of course, Janis Joplin on her Porsche at the Palace of Fine Arts. Great photo. So that will do it for the Haight. Love, Rock, and Revolution. Photography of Jim Marshall. An amazing book. I suggest you get it if you're a fan of any of these artists, or just a collector like me, who needs to have everything that Janice is in, and every book she's in, and I thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please take care of yourselves and take care of someone else. Bye for now.